Several marketing features in Dynamics 365 Customer Insights journeys are optional, so you might be using the application with some important capabilities turned off. We're on the Feature Switches page in the Settings area of Customer Insights. This is where preview features can be enabled, and it's also where administrators can manage optional functions. By default, most of the examples will cover as switched off, which might be the right setting for your business, but as we'll discuss, there could be scenarios where you'll want to consider enabling specific features. Each of these is optional because what's right for one organization might not be appropriate for you. So this is a crucial screen to review whether you are implementing Customer Insights or already using the application. From this list, we'll highlight 12 of these main feature settings. First up is protected fields in segments. Customer Insights accesses Microsoft Dataverse to create audience segments, but by default it doesn't allow marketing teams to query any protected fields. Protected field status can be applied to any sensitive data that only a limited group of authorized people can access. Examples could include nationality, ethnicity, religion, gender, and income. We rarely see this feature enabled, partly because not every organization defines protected fields, but if they do, privacy and compliance requirements may prevent this data from being used for marketing purposes. However, depending on your policy, marketing teams might be permitted to access protected data for precise audience targeting. They still won't see the data, but enabling this feature will allow users to create segments that can include query conditions for any protected field data such as age or health information. Next is UTM tracking, which is added to hyperlinks to attribute the source of each click. In Google Analytics and other reporting tools, UTM parameters help assess campaign performance. Adding UTMs to email links can be a fiddly process, but Dynamics will reduce effort by doing this automatically when the UTM feature is enabled. By default, this is turned off should you prefer to define custom UTMs or avoid using these, but we typically recommend enabling this. To protect against malicious emails, bots are deployed to check inbound messages for evidence of phishing, malware, and other security threats. This is necessary to reduce risk, but bot activity can artificially inflate click-through rates. For example, we've seen what appeared to be a campaign with very impressive click rates, but in reality these were skewed by bot activity. These inflated click metrics don't just distort campaign reports, but might also result in incorrect follow-up messages being sent and other actions which are triggered by these misleading interaction signals. The bot protection switch is the only feature of the 12 that we're highlighting here which is automatically enabled to filter out bot activity. This seems an appropriate setting to protect reporting accuracy, but it can be turned off if you are concerned about potential undercounting of clicks. And we should also add this is only covering clicks, it doesn't apply to email opens. The first of two features we'll look at in the email editor section is Litmus integration. This external service provides an inbox preview of your messages in various email clients and interfaces so you can check for consistency. Each Customer Insights license includes a quota for up to 100 monthly credits across all users, which is ample for most needs. Because this relies on an external service, it isn't automatically enabled. As it says in the description, you must agree to the Litmus terms and privacy policy. This feature is often enabled because it saves time and simplifies checks before emails are sent. However, it does share email content with a third party. Although that doesn't include email addresses, if you do send sensitive messages, you'll want to carefully consider if this feature is appropriate for your organization. Next up is the View in Browser feature switch that does what you'd expect in allowing recipients to view your messages in their default browser. That's good for user experience, so we can't think of any reason why you wouldn't want to enable this. We'll skip through several sections to reach the CC recipients for journeys. Using this option, you can include up to 5 related email addresses for each email sent within the flow of a journey. One example of why you might want to do this would be to increase distribution by including the email address too, in addition to the primary email field for contacts. You might want to CC an account manager or record owner when some types of message are sent to a customer on their behalf. That could be a special invite or offer, or maybe a customer milestone. It could also be useful if an account-based alert triggers a critical transactional email and you want to copy in the key internal stakeholders. There's a lot to consider before enabling this CC feature. One thing to remember is that if any CC recipient unsubscribes, this will unsubscribe the primary contact. Like most of the features we're highlighting, this does need to be carefully assessed, so if you need any guidance, please get in touch with the team here at ServerSys. Moving on to email deduplication, this prevents an email from being sent to the same address more than once. In most instances, we recommend enabling this feature. Once activated, it will prevent people from receiving multiple emails simultaneously caused by duplicated contacts or poorly defined segment rules. However, it also prevents the same email from being sent to the same recipients at a later time. For example, you might want to resend an event invite. If email deduplication is enabled, these subsequent emails would be blocked. To get around this, you'd have to create a new version of the email. Unsubscribing from emails sent using customer insights is handled through the Preference Center, but enabling this feature allows recipients to opt out with one click using some email clients. At the time of recording, Gmail and Yahoo are two prominent examples that support one-click unsubscribe. Also, Google requires any organization sending more than 5,000 emails a day to Gmail accounts to apply this rule. Enabling this ensures compliance, and it's another feature where we haven't encountered a reason not to enable it. Enabling this next feature ensures that your Dynamics 365 timelines show exact copies of the emails that you send. Without this, any personalization details in your messages won't appear in the timeline. As a result, people won't see the same version of what the recipient was sent because personalized field data and any dynamic content are missing. That's not too impactful if the only personalization is a first name salutation. But if your emails include content such as dates or reference numbers or pricing which are pulled from fields in Dynamics, these email records won't be of much help to sales or other teams who want to see an exact copy without gaps. For that reason, it's another feature that we recommend enabling. Moving to the compliance section, this feature can be enabled to check contact level consent before you send messages in real-time journeys. This setting is mainly relevant if your organization has moved from the Dynamics 365 outbound marketing module but hasn't yet fully configured the consent center with compliance profiles. In real-time journeys, customer consent is captured by contact points, whereby there is only one form of contact point consent per communication channel, including email. This fundamentally differs from how consent was managed in outbound marketing, which checked the contact record for consent by looking at the settings in these fields for do not allow bulk emails and do not allow email. By default, real-time journeys doesn't refer to these contact record attributes as it only looks at the consent center. If you want customer insights to use these contact fields to enforce consent and ensure the right people receive your messages, you can enable this setting, but a better long-term solution would be to configure the consent center. Double opt-in is the other feature switch in the compliance section. Once enabled, this ensures that people actively confirm their intention to join your mailing list or receive communications. Based on your data processing rules and how GDPR impacts them, double opt-in may be required, and it may also be necessary to comply with local regulations. Switching this on enables double opt-in capabilities, but further action is needed to configure your compliance profile, which includes a supporting email and confirmation page message. Once set up, web forms linked to a relevant compliance profile will automatically have double opt-in enabled for each submission. The final item in the list is an option to enable a scoring model. Customer Insights is all about increasing agility to engage people in real time and respond to their actions. Using a lead scoring model, you can define your criteria to identify the top prospects in the journey based on who interacts with your marketing communications. As well as counting email clicks and other interactions, you can also create more complex scoring models that include demographic attributes from the contact or lead being scored or attributes from a related table. When someone positively interacts with your messages and meets your target profile, they'll receive a higher score. So these people can automatically be identified, which might mean notifying a sales team or routing them to another journey that triggers further messages. Lead scoring is an important capability within Customer Insights, but automated scoring models can present data privacy issues. This feature is automatically turned off, and before enabling it, you should ensure that its use will comply with your data privacy policy and relevant regulations. These are just some of the optional features that you can enable to extend the capabilities of Dynamics 365 Customer Insights journeys. If you want to know more about any of the items that we've covered in this presentation, please get in touch.